bun like this
Why? Don't. Your bun
because it
looks nice.
looks like I have like short hair.
No, I like your hair. I like your hair up, down, anything, man. I mean that honestly. I know you might be thinking, "Oh, you didn't say that before." I'll
Yeah.
just say, I'll just say this. I think you look cute with your hair down. It's all curly and big, but when it's up too, it looks nice too.
Okay. Thanks.
I mean,
I feel better now.
you should always feel good. As long as you're around me, I always think you're beautiful.
Oh. Okay.
I mean that. I'm just gonna make the whole live stream with me complimenting you.
No.
Yes, let's do that.
Cheesy. Stop.
Why is that cheesy? I can't love my wife.
Yeah, but we're here to talk business. We're here to
We're
talk
talking
serious stuff, okay?
serious stuff. I mean, okay, all right. Well, welcome everybody to this live stream. Thanks for clicking this video if you're watching it now, or if you're gonna watch it in the playback. This is our, weekly Sunday live stream with my wife that I really enjoy doing. I love doing this. This is like my favorite part of the week, at least chopping it up with her on the live. Aside from the other things we do outside of the live, which are fun. And yeah, say hi, Acty.
Hi, everyone. I'm Akdi from Turkey, and I'm Simon's wife.
That's right. That's right. So we don't have anybody in, but we're going extremely hard this month. So if you want to tune out on this one, I understand. Just catch it later. And so yeah, we're going to be talking about this new Martin Scorsese film with Leonardo DiCaprio. But before we get into that, Acty, how was your week? Did you have a good week?
Yeah, it was a holiday week for me from school. I honestly don't know how it passed by. It was super quick, and I feel like I didn't do anything. But yeah, it was good. It was enjoyable.
Yeah. For me, it was hella busy. A lot of work, a lot of classes, new interviews, a lot of writing, listening to music, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm glad you had a nice, relaxed week. I feel stressed.
It was supposed to be relaxing, but I was stressed about not doing anything all the time. So
Do
it's
you
a bit.
feel do you feel like you need to be active all the time?
Yeah, of course. I feel like I'm not. I have like too many things to do, and I'm not doing them.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely know that feeling. I feel that it's hard to juggle so many things happening at one time.
Yeah, but at the same time, I just want to like lay in bed and thing.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like the part about us like being a me? Because I feel like this sometimes, like being a good husband is like stressful, like because you have to do things as a husband to make sure you're doing your job. Do you ever feel that, like as a wife, like damn, I have this extra stuff to do as a wife?
Yeah, of course, I feel that like all the time, like every day. But I see it like as long as it's not too much of a stress on me or you, I feel like it's sort of like a fueling power,
Mm,
and it's kind of proves that I care about you and our relationship in the same way like for you.
yeah.
But obviously it shouldn't be something that drives us crazy. Rather, it should be something like a motivating factor.
Right, right. And I'm not talking about stuff like oh cooking or cleaning or
Yeah,
stuff like that. I'm talking about just like time, care, attention, that sort of stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I, of course.
Well, anyway, enough about that. We're just warming up. We're just warming up right here. Sorry if I put you on the spot with those questions. Was that too forward?
No, it's okay. I'm
Yeah.
very open, with our relationship. So,
All right, cool. But yeah, so last night, it was November 4th, 2023. We're out here in Budapest, Hungary. My wife and I went to the movie theaters to go see the new Scorsese film, Killers of the Flower Moon. I heard about the movie just by randomly. I didn't even get any advertisements for it or anything. I just went on the Wikipedia page because I was interested to see Scorsese's like filmography because I think I had just finished watching Goodfellas for like the second time, and I rarely watch movies again. But I wanted to see, okay, what Scorsese got coming next, and I was like, oh, he got a new one, and everybody said it did really well at Cannes, the film festivals, and everybody gave it rave reviews. So now that it's in theaters, people are watching it, talking about it. I haven't read that many reviews of it. Like, I
yeah.
don't know. Did you hear about the movie before? How did you hear about the movie?
I mean, I heard it through you, like, Actually, I the first time I heard it was in the live chat because I think one of the guys said it. Was it Avery?
Maybe, I don't know.
I feel
And
like
I think it was either
asked,
Avery or Craig Mack. I don't know.
yeah, somebody asked like, "Have you guys seen this movie?" And I was like, I don't know what that is.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't think they did like a lot of marketing, which is like might be sometimes it can be a positive thing because it's not nothing too commercial.
Hmm.
But yeah, I basically heard it through you. And honestly, the first time I saw the flyer, like the picture of the movie, I thought it looked kind of cheesy because it had like this, faded Leo and the girl, and it looked kind of cheesy and boring, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just judging from the picture.
Yeah, I mean the flyer puts Leo's face in big bold because he's the star, right? And he's a big box office attraction. So I think that's why they did it. But yeah, the flyer doesn't give you sort of any indication of what the movie's about. But
Yeah.
yeah, so Leo's in this movie. This is his, big movie for this year, I guess. Maybe it'll win some awards. Maybe it'll do really well at the box office. I don't know yet. But like, what's your opinion of Leo in general as an actor?
I think he's a really good actor. Like he did pretty memorable, solid roles throughout his career. And like I the first time I watched him was in Titanic, and I think like from Titanic his acting was a bit more like amateurish, and now like I feel like we've seen Leo like just make himself better in terms of acting. Like I feel like we saw that development.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I feel like, for me, I didn't watch Titanic. I know that might sound crazy as like a '90s kid. It just didn't appeal to me because it was like marketed to like a different demographic than
Yeah.
people that would watch Titanic. So like I never got into that. I didn't see Catch Me If You Can either. Never saw it. I didn't really like get heavy onto Leo until like I would say Inception. What's that movie called? The one where they go down into the dream world.
Yeah.
Yeah, Inception, right? That's the name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like Inception, and then after that, The Revenant. But the one that like kind of put it over the top for me was like Wolf of Wall Street, because like I remember seeing Wolf of Wall Street in theaters, and I was in a theater in Miami like by myself. I don't know why nobody else was there, but maybe it was because it was like Wednesday at 2 p.m. because that was like the cheap ticket. So I'm watching Wolf of Wall Street, and I was blown away. I was like, okay, all right, now I see it. But he
Yeah.
also he also did a good movie with Tarantino. No, yeah, he did a movie with
Talk
Tarantino.
about Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time was dope as well,
See that one.
and Romeo and Love, the one where they're speaking in Shakespeare,
It's Juliet and Romeo. Yeah.
Juliet and
Romeo
Romeo,
and Juliet. Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet. That one was dope too.
Yeah,
Uh,
we saw that one together. I mean, that was I think around the same time of Titanic because his haircut is the same.
yeah, but I started getting on those movies like after Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I could say the same. Like, you know, obviously, yes, like him as a name, but I didn't really like in my mind it wasn't really validated. And then after when I saw the Wolf of Wall Street, I was like, yeah, like he's a pretty good actor. And
Yeah,
he fought.
yeah. And so, what do you think of Scorsese? Arguably one of the greatest directors of all time, if not the greatest.
Okay, so I mean, I don't have anything against Scorsese. I just the his films are not my vibe. That's all. Like I don't really like the 4-hour gangster movie. It's just I don't know. It's kind of boring to me, but I can appreciate like, his storytelling abilities and his directing abilities. In that sense, I think it's good. It's like um, in that sense, I give it to him. But the movies and the topics of the movies is not really my interest. Goodfellas was from Scorsese, right?
Right. I'm gonna say some of the movies. I'm gonna say some of his movies right now.
Uh,
So yeah, Taxi Driver. Did you ever see Taxi Driver?
No. Is it it's the one with Robert De Niro, right?
Yeah, it's like 78. Yeah. All right. Then we have Goodfellas. Of course, you saw
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. Then we have Shutter Island.
Ooh, I actually really like that movie.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't
Okay.
know that was directed by Scorsese.
Okay. Then we have Silence.
No.
Never seen it? Okay. Raging Bull.
No.
Casino.
No.
Gangs of New York.
No.
Mean Streets.
No.
Okay. The Departed.
Uh I think I tried to watch that one, but I was bored, so I turned it off. Sorry.
Great. But you like Shutter Island.
Yeah,
And
but
he did Wolf of Wall Street too.
oh, he directed Wall Street too?
Yeah.
That one was good. That like the cinematography and the directing was really good on like Wall Street because it was a long movie and it was like complicated story, so that was really well done.
Yeah.
And Shutter Island is also like really good. It's like psychological thriller mystery. It's not really gangster movies or anything, but
Right. Right.
he also
Uh,
do man.
he did the Irishman. I was gonna say that, but I was like, well, if she didn't see, Gangs of New York. You watched the Irishman?
No, I didn't.
Okay, but yeah, he also did the Irishman. But why would you ask if you didn't watch it?
I don't know. I mean, how many did you watch? Or did you watch all of them?
I didn't watch all of them. Like I haven't seen Shutter Island, The Irishman. Casino is one of my favorite movies. I didn't see Gangs of New York. Of course, Goodfellas, classic. Seen that. Wolf of Wall Street, Killers of the Flower Moon. So I actually haven't seen like a lot of his movies. In fact, a small minority. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But overall, every movie I've watched from his has been really good.
Yeah.
And I like gangster movies. Can I admit that I like a good gangster?
Yeah, of course you can. I mean, like the first time I watched Goodfellas, I was watching alone and I was in like high school and it was like boring, but it was one of the classics, so I kind of forced myself into watching it. But when I watched it with you, it was actually enjoyable. Like I enjoyed it.
Right?
So I didn't really get it back then, or because you were interested, I was interested too.
Yeah, but that's also because of the commentary I do. Like when Karen had the gun in his face, he's like, Karen, put down the gun. I'm like, yeah, Karen, put down the gun. Stop. Karen.
That's true. That's true. Your commentary.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into this movie. So this is the latest Scorsese film, and yeah, basically the story is about this Indian tribe in the U.S. In the early 20th century. They strike it big by finding gold. I mean, not gold, oil on their land, black gold, and they basically become the richest people in the world. This small Indian tribe, and so this is based in Oklahoma, and it's a true story. Basically, a bunch of people start moving into this community to work on the oil and work for the Indians, which can now buy nice cars, send their kids to private schools, big homes, and all this sort of stuff. And slowly, this small group of people, start trying to intermarry with the Indians. And they also end up killing some of the men as well to try to take their land and take their oil and stuff like that. And it was a very interesting story because honestly, I'd never heard of this story and I thought I knew a lot of the evil parts of American history. But I was very impressed with the idea of this story because I really like movies that bring true stories to light that
Hmm.
often aren't spoken about. So I thought it was very dope, like the exact premise. What did you think of like the premise of the movie?
Yeah, I think the topic was really interesting because, to be honest, like being outside of America, we hear about a lot of like, for example, black struggles, but we don't really hear about like the Indian struggles, and they were one of the people who suffered from like the early white supremacy and colonialism. So yeah, like I've never heard of Osage tribe, and I actually like never heard of any other Indian tribes either. So yeah, yeah, the topic made me like, interested in those type of stories and what they went through and all things like that. So it was an interesting like topic,
Right.
definitely.
Do you remember that movie we watched in Mauritius called Prey?
Yes.
Yeah, that was another like Indian movie,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was like it's the Indian heritage wasn't the focus of that movie.
It wasn't the focus, but they still incorporated a lot of that. So I just wanted to tie that in there too, because this is
Yeah.
like only like the second film where like the main characters are natives, and that's a big part of the story. And they
Mm,
were speaking in their original language and stuff like that, so that was cool to see. But
yeah.
yeah, so overall, the movie to me like really impacted me based on a lot of how the setting we were in, because we went to see this movie in Hungary, right, in a
Yeah.
packed theater. And the Hungarian people are very strange because during the entire movie, like during like the racist jokes or like just the bad parts of the movie, like when the white parents are looking at the half Indian kids and half
Yeah.
white kids, they said, "Oh, he's half a savage or he's half dark" and stuff like that. And the Hungarians are like snickering, like I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck?" I just wanted to stand up in my chair and be like, "Yo, what y'all doing? Are y'all serious?" But
Yeah.
anyway, how did you? What did you think of the people we were watching it with? Because that was weird, man.
Yeah. I think what it felt to me that they were like didn't actually in the realization of that being true. Of course, like it says, yes, it's true. It's based on true events and things like that. But I don't think they were in that realizations. And yeah, I mean, that was like super weird and uncomfortable to hear them laugh during like the racist jokes and the sexist jokes and everything else in between. It was weird, but I don't think they are concerned about that, or they're not close to that culture at least, or cultural struggle, so they didn't really like think deeply about it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like, that's like a very American story. And usually, if you go to the movie theater, Ozzy jumped in. He said, "Sup, guys? What's up, Ozzy?" Usually, when in the U.S., when we watch movies like that, like like Killers of the Flower Moon or Rosewood or like a movie about a bad part about American history,
Mhm.
usually the audience is very silent. And I'm talking about white people and black people, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a time to be educated and you kind of feel bad about what you're seeing on screen. But in this
And
case, it felt like, the people didn't really realize that it was bad. Or maybe they just thought, oh, well, stupid Indians, they're about to lose to a bigger kingdom. And maybe in the European mindset, because in their history they get conquered and then they conquer, then they get conquered again, and so forth and so forth. They just view this as like a cycle of life rather than the extermination. Maybe that's how I'm understanding. I didn't talk to the Hungarians, but I don't know.
mm,
I don't know. Tell me what you think.
I don't think they necessarily like, you know, think anything about native Indians, to be honest, because like I said, the outside world doesn't have any information about them. Like it's not something mainstream. So like even like I as a Turkish person, I was really like interested in American culture, the movies and the stories, and not just like the media but other things as well. But even I don't have that type of knowledge, and because it's just not out there. So I don't think they necessarily have any ideas about Native Americans.
I would disagree with you and push back with you a bit because I think a lot of people already know a lot more about U.S. history than even they want to admit, or even that they don't actually acknowledge that they know. Because, like, for example, we were watching the movie and two guys behind us were laughing at every single word they said. And they laughed as soon as the guy mentioned J. Edgar Hoover, right? And J. Edgar Hoover was basically like the guy who started the FBI. And
I,
he was a very bad guy, right? But these
yeah.
guys were laughing. And obviously, if these people are watching this English movie with only Hungarian subtitles, maybe they know English as well, so that means they study this. So it's not like we were in an ignorant crowd. We didn't watch the movie with Hungarian dubs and English subs. We were watching it with people who possibly knew English already, came there to practice it, or they really love American cinema. So I think, you know, I, I just want to disagree with that, that point that maybe they don't know about U.S. Indians. I just want to disagree.
No, of course they know. Like the only information that is at least like universal about Native Indians were that white when the colonizers came there, they were like there was genocides and they were like, killed by the colonials or, you know, enslaved or whatnot, like something like that. So yeah, that is a common knowledge that we have.
All right, shout out to Avery. He jumped in. He got his wine, but we don't have ours right now. We wanted to do this one sober because this is a very deep movie. We're talking about Killers of the Flower Moon, and we're talking about how we were watching it with Hungarian people, and yeah, they were basically laughing at all the crazy
Yeah.
jokes and all
But
the dark skinned Indian jokes. But go ahead.
yeah, I just want to say that I'm not going to excuse their like weird laughs because like I said, even if you don't know anything, you know that there was some violence in their history.
Right,
So that should be enough to have respect
right.
during this sort of story. I don't know why they were laughing at J. Edgar Hoover. So that was like very like yeah, weird.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying though, I think there might be a different view in the European mind about the story of the natives because they just view that as conquering, and conquer might just be natural to just Europeans because the Hungarians had their empire, then they lost it, then they had it again, then they lost it, and they just view that maybe differently than how in America when they conquered, they eliminated people, and that's
Yeah.
what we were watching on the screen, and that's why I think maybe it was a bit weird watching it there, hearing people laugh about that, because maybe they might have said, "Oh well, I wish our ancestors did that. We should have went to America and just took some Indian gold, or you know what I mean." I don't know. I don't know. I might just be projecting, but that's
I
what I'm thinking.
like I would say like probably the people in Turkey, for example, who are not too familiar with American culture or history, let's say not culture, but history. I think and this was me when I was like younger, like when I was in middle school. I thought Native Americans were the Americans, original Americans, and that they just like are the Americans now. Like I didn't know that anybody died in the process. I thought that was just like their ancestors basically. So I didn't know. And there's also like this joke in Turkey that we say the Indians are actually Turkish, which we say to everything and everybody. But in our movies, like in our comedy movies, they have like the feather hats, but
Mhm.
they have Turkish um demeanors.
That's funny. So
So
they're like doing this.
yeah,
They're like doing this, and they're
that's
doing this.
that tells us how little we know about them. Like,
That's funny.
you know,
That's funny. But yeah, so back to the movie itself, because the audience is one thing. But what did you think of the acting? Like, how do you feel? Because in the movie, we have Leo, we have Robert De Niro, we have my guy, Brendan Fraser shows up and shows out. Man, we have a lot of like all star white guys showing up and doing their best suits, but also the women as well. The ladies show up as well.
yeah, no, it was acting was really good. Like everybody showed up. The only I told you this, but the only scene that I didn't like the acting was actually Brendan Fraser when he said like he's saving you, kid, or something like that in the inside the house when they were trying to pursue Leo. That was the only scene that like made me get out of the movie, and then I was reeled back in. But that kind of felt unnatural to me. But anyway, that's very minor, and I don't really like. I'm not gonna like hold it against the whole movie because the all of the acting was really good. It was interesting to see Robert De Niro in a non-Italian character, and also like Leo. It was interesting to see him like the southern stupid guy. Um, and yeah, and about the lady, I think her name is Lily. I forgot her surname. The real actor's name.
Mhm.
She was really good, like because she didn't have a lot of lines, especially towards the end of the movie, but she gave us that emotion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like in this movie, Leo does a good job on making his character believable. It might turn you off a bit if you're coming there expecting that big Leo performance,
Mm,
but that's because his character isn't a big guy. He's sort of like the Darth Vader to the Emperor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like the guy who's basically being controlled by this older, wiser guy who has a malicious plan to take all the Indians' money. So he's like
Mm.
setting up different white guys to go and marry the Indians and then eventually kill their Indian wives and have the gold and I mean the oil. I don't know why I keep on calling oil gold, but you get what I'm saying.
I,
Like so like Leo isn't like showing out like how he did in Aviator or like how he did in Django Unchained or Wolf of Wall Street in this movie, but that's because his guy is like
a
a
pawn.
soldier. Yeah, what?
A pawn. He's a pawn. So
Yeah, he's a pawn. He's basically a guy who's used to taking orders. He was a soldier who went to World War I and came back. He was a cook. His stomach exploded. Now he's out here in Oklahoma just doing the bidding of his uncle, who he calls King, right? And yeah, basically Leo just doesn't really do big of a performance. But Molly, the wife of Leo's character, I forgot Leo's character's name, Ernest, right? It was
yeah,
Ernest. Right. So Molly does actually a really good job of like encapsulating that Indian energy, like that calmness, that sereneness, but also that seriousness and that solemnness in her role without saying a lot of words. She says a lot in her facial expressions and in the tone of what she says. And so, yeah, I think the best actor was her because of just using minimal lines just to convey emotion. And then after that, Robert De Niro's character is like a very good, like, how can I say, like a good villain, like a villain who doesn't show you how evil he is. You get what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Still, it's like you still want to like him,
Yeah,
and
like
then
he does.
still want to like him, but he's like, he has a really bad heart and bad intentions, but you still kind of like him.
Yeah, yeah. And I wish there was a scene in the movie where he really got to explain like his motivation as a villain. Because there's one point where he says, they want their old ways back, but it's not coming back. This is like the way it is, right? But that was like a short line. But I really wish there was that, that villain monologue where he just like said, "We are doing this because da 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 da," and because I wish there was more in depth into his mind as a character. But
Mm,
Robert De Niro brought King sort of to life in my opinion. But yeah,
yeah. I mean, like, we kind of know what his motivation was. Like, probably money, power, and all sorts of stuff that drove most of those type of men, in that era and even to this day. So yeah, it was really good though. Like, he really embodied the character. Because
right.
also, like, in the film, his character was this lovable person that everybody loved and respected. So yeah,
Yeah.
and
But
as the audience, we felt the same way to his, even though we knew like he was doing bad things.
absolutely, absolutely. But hands down, the best actor in the movie was Brendan Fraser. Don't listen to AKDI. His scene, as soon as he shows up in the movie, makes you want to stand up and say, "Yeah!" Because look, he gotten so fat. I almost didn't realize that
Oh,
Brendan Fraser actually got this fat. Yo, like 3 hours. All right, let's get into that. Avery Adams says, "Did you think 3 hours was overwhelming?" For me, it didn't feel like that long. For me, I don't know. What about you?
I wouldn't say it wasn't like, oh, I didn't understood how the time passed. It wasn't like that, but there wasn't a moment where I felt like, oh, it's so boring. I want to get out. Like, yeah, there were some slow burn moments and times, but it kept on reeling me in. And so I was like still following the story and I was still interested. So yeah, it does feel like 3 hours, but not bad 3 hours.
Right. I think 3 hours is unwarranted if there are useless scenes. And the only useless scene in the movie was the wedding scene where there's this guy dancing. I don't know why I hated that scene so much because like the entire time it was a minute of this guy just dancing very weird. And I was like, stop this, stop, cut that out. But all the other scenes seemed necessary and like they were important to the movie and the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I was saying about Brendan Fraser, he really got fat, and I didn't realize he really got fat like that. I thought it was just the whale costume. Y'all need to go see the whale. It's one of the best movies that was released last year, hands down. But I didn't realize that he was such a good actor as a fat man. Like
Wow.
he got better as a fat guy because Brendan Fraser was just known for The Mummy and like The Mummy too, I think.
Yeah.
And he, it's not like he was a great actor in that, but
He was
goddamn,
yeah.
go ahead, go ahead.
He was handsome, like, he was playing the handsome, Indiana Jonesy type of actor, and now that he got fat and he started acting again, he had to do those, like, important roles, and just get with, like, looking good.
Is there any reason why he got fat? Like,
I
does he
think
have like a
I
disease?
mean, he quit acting for a long time, and I think he was just, like, depressed or had, like, drinking problems or something like that.
Mm,
I feel like I've heard that, like, he had some sort of problem and
mm,
gained weight, and yeah,
okay.
maybe drugs, I don't know.
Well, that's cool. It's worked out for him. I like it. I like it. He's a phenomenal actor. But what did you think about the cinematography of the film? Like of the like the scenes and the shots, the lighting, all that.
I mean, like, the setting of the whole movie, wherever it was, it felt very realistic, and yeah, like I said before about Scorsese, I don't like I can't judge his like cinematography skills. It was like, really good. We had saw like everything that we need to see in that scene. It was yeah. And I really like when they went like black and white, like in the beginning they showed like some footages, and when they went to Washington, it was like that. So that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think the cinematography was good. Like the way they spaced out certain things, and you saw the vastness of the land and like how barren it was. And then also scenes where like the gold was. I mean, gold. Why do I keep calling oil gold? When the oil was coming up, like at the beginning, was like a very cool scene when the Indians first discover it and they're dancing in it and that sort of stuff. There were some Scorsese, like how can I say this? Some Scorsese stereotypes because like in almost every Scorsese film, he has to have like a car race or like a car chase, and that was there in the movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that was necessary. And then he always has these scenes where there's like this dysfunctional family having like this rah rah in the all over the house, like a lot of commotion, a lot of arguing, a lot of yelling. I think that's because of Scorsese's like Italian heritage and stuff like that. And he always has like this, drunken, slovenly, like whorish woman who shows up. And there's like Molly's sister. There's a scene where
Yeah.
all of those things sort of combine in one. There's like a car chase. Like and then 20 minutes later, there's a big house where everybody's yelling and fighting, and then like a drunken whore walks in and gets into a fight. And so it was like some typical Scorsese stuff that I felt like didn't need to be there a bit because I was like, all right, he's just doing his biggest hits right now.
You
You
had
know?
to put a little bit Italiano in there.
Yeah, like how do you make the Indians Italian? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about like those, Scorsese typical scenes, but now that you say it, yeah, we had like all those scenes.
Like there were scenes in there. You saw Goodfellas. There were scenes in there where you could copy and paste them and put them in Goodfellas, and vice versa.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, like the one of my problems with the movie, I'm gonna say this. One of my problems with the movie was it was kind of hard to follow the story of the murderers and the people that were doing the crimes a bit, like the names of the people and like who exactly was involved. And I feel like for a murder sort of thriller, it should have been easier, especially when you know who the criminals are. It wasn't like a mystery. You get what I'm saying? But it was hard for me to follow, okay, who is this guy that did this and why do they dislike this guy? Because there's like a scene where Leo stands up and talks to this guy named Bill, and he doesn't like Bill, but I sort of
yeah.
forgot why he didn't like Bill. You get what I'm saying?
Because Bill was the only husband who was actually like supporting the Indians. He wasn't in the schemes, so that's the guy who married Rita later and then got killed. So yeah, like he was the only one after the murders. He was the only one investigating for real and not in the and stuff like that. So
Mm. Okay, so maybe I missed that, but that was kind of like hard for me to follow a bit, for me at least. But were you able to follow everything that was happening, like who was who and what was what and why was why?
Yeah, I mean, there were moments where I got lost, but then like 10 minutes later, it's kind of like, tied in with the other stuff. And especially like at the end of the movie where they were confessing to the police, that's when it's like kind of all tied in. Like the missing puzzle parts were filled then for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I would say I generally like, was able to follow.
yeah. Hey, so my comment section looks really weird. I can't see things. Can you read some comments for us?
I only have Craig Mack's comment. That's the one I can see.
And what
And
does it say?
what's good, you two? Simon, is that the sweatsuit you were rocking and they wouldn't let you in the club?
Absolutely, I rock this thing proudly. Yeah, I still love this sweatsuit. So yeah, this is what I was wearing when they wouldn't let me in the club in Kosovo. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, this was titled spoilers. So, but I don't think like anybody can like go into this and not expect, that the ending would at least be kind of good because you can easily look up and find out what happened in this case.
Hmm.
But yeah, like were you satisfied with the ending of the movie? Because in the end, Leo goes to jail, Robert goes to jail, Molly gets remarried and stuff like that. I don't
Hmm.
know. Were you satisfied with like the ending?
I mean, at first, when I first got out of the movie theater, I was kind of angry because not because of the ending. I thought like the ending scene was good, but I wanted Molly to have like an outburst for Ernest because throughout the movie he caused her so much pain, and she went through like so much. Like she lost a daughter, and of course that wasn't him, but she lost sister and mother and all of those. So I just wanted her to like have a moment,
Yeah,
and it didn't necessarily have to be like her shouting and slapping and stuff like that. Like it could have been some line that would puncture him.
yeah,
But there wasn't that. But then later, when I was reading the reviews and things like that, I kind of got why it was like that. And people usually tied it was like that because there wasn't any conclusion to any of these murders in real life back then.
mm,
Most of them were just left uninvestigated,
mm,
and not just these ones, but other in other Indian tribes too. So they were saying that it was kind of like a symbol, like Molly was kind of symbolizing that sort of, and she just like kept proud, and she knew that nothing was going to happen and justice wasn't going to be made, so she made it herself basically. By
mm.
it.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So, like, a lot of those murders that happened in the movie and that they showed at the beginning didn't get solved. Actually, I didn't know that. I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
the FBI didn't really like get involved after the trial. And obviously, like as you can imagine, this wasn't the only murders and things like that. So basically, Indians were left on their own to deal with this.
Right. I mean, we have like a weird system with the Native Americans in the U.S. because technically they have reservations, which are technically their own countries. So basically, they have their own laws, their own police, their own system there, and sort of the federal government is only allowed to actually just like a help them and assist them and stop people from breaking major laws there and that sort of stuff. And maybe back then, like 100 years ago, that sort of was even more pronounced because by the time like Oklahoma, I think Oklahoma barely became a state by then. Like Oklahoma was a state only like for 4 or 5 years before
Hmm.
that movie in the time place, and like other places in the U.S. weren't even a part of the U.S. then. So yeah, I think back then they couldn't really ask for help from the U.S. and seriously expect to get it. But yeah, one criticism I have of Scorsese's films is that he never shows white men in jail. And even if white men go to jail in a Scorsese movie, they're drinking wine, they're eating pasta, they're making meatballs. If you remember in Goodfellas, that's
Yeah.
what happened. They go to jail and they're having a party, and then they're out in 2 minutes. They're out in 2 minutes. The jail scene when I think he goes to jail for like 7 years. He says it was nothing. It was a breeze. We were in there cooking ravioli and pasta. I'm like, bro, the fuck. Scorsese Scorsese never shows white people getting punished for anything. White men can die in his movies, but they never get true punishment. They never get true justice for doing evil shit. You
I
get what
mean,
I'm saying?
yeah, but also the white men who are in that positions in his movies are usually wealthy white men, and that's kind of a reflection of reality a little bit, and especially at that time, I feel like because you could do, you know, flip some money to the guard or something and have your own stuff together and things like that. And same with this movie, it was a wealthy man, being sent to prison.
No, no, no. Hold on, wait. Read the comments real quick before I get into what I'm gonna say.
Craig Mack said they have two casinos in my state, Foxwood and Mohegan Sun.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, the Indians got a lot of casinos because, like, the U.S. gave them land and they can do whatever they want with them. And so, in different places of the U.S., it's illegal to have casinos, but not at the Indian reservation. So that's how they made a lot of money. You know.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have not expected that.
Yeah, no, it's sort of considered like a stereotype that the Indians now are rich. Like a lot of them are super rich. It's crazy because the Native Americans have like a very interesting dichotomy because they're the ones who have it worse than even Black people in the U.S. The highest rates of like suicide, drug dependency, highest early death rates, like they die at like 60 years old, or and alcoholism kills them and stuff like that. And yeah, they live in extreme poverty in the reservations. But then you have other Indians that are like extremely wealthy. A few tribes, a few families have a lot of money. So it's like a very interesting, dichotomy there. You know.
I mean, hey, like if they're rich now, I really appreciate that because what they went through was kind of like very scary because I think at some part of the movie, like one of the Indians says this as well, like one of the chiefs, he says like it's okay if they were invading us, then I could fight them like face to face, but now I don't know who's my friend and who's not, which
Hmm.
is like even worse
Yeah. Yeah.
to an extent.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I have a lot of criticisms for how the Indians got their thing down, but let me get back on Scorsese's ass real quick. So, listen, man, like you said that they are like rich white men and they could, pay to have things certain ways. Like, come on now, like, come on now, like, if you're gonna write in the movie that the two villains get, punishment for what they did, I think you should show it because you showed them the entire movie, killing Indians, just marrying them just for their money, you know, trying to birth them out of existence by trying to push as much white cum up in them coochies as you could. You showed all that, but you can't show them sitting behind bars. You get what I'm saying? If it's a fictional story and you're going to write in a fictional punishment, don't
It's
end it
not
with this, like, huh?
Oh wait, it is a fictional story. Sorry.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, yeah. But it's like he should have like showed the punishment part. But the way the movie ends, guys, is like they do this like 1920s podcast. I don't know if this is real or not, but I guess back in the day people used to do true crime thrillers in theaters. A guy would stand on a microphone and read a true crime story, and other people would do like the sound effects on other microphones to make people engaged. And that's how he decided to end the movie. And then there's a shot of like the Indians from a drum doing like a ritual ceremonial dance. And I'm like, bro, like, we need to see some justice. You showed a whole lot of injustice, but we can't see justice.
yeah, but that's the thing. They didn't get justice in reality, so why give them justice in the movie?
Uh, that's because for me, imagery is powerful. Imagery and media is very, very powerful. And to show certain things a certain way, you can influence people's minds and perceptions. There's a reason why everybody sees me around the world and thinks criminal, thug, gangster, and that's why I can't go into a club in Kosovo with a tracksuit on. There's a reason why I go everywhere in the world, people yell nigga, 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 or Tupac, Tupac, Tupac. It's because of media. And so you are able to shape people's minds. But if you're not able to give the image that, hey, if you do wrong, you get wrong, there will be justice for you, then we're going to continue to live in a world where people think, oh, if I have the complexion for the protection, I won't have to serve time in correction. You get what I'm saying?
I agree with you, Simon, but this is not what happened in the history. So why change the history? Like, and to be honest, I really like the ending because when they showed that theater like piece, it was like, all this stuff happened, and then I don't know like how long later it was, let's say 20 years or 50 years, whatever, like it was still some sort of like city myth that people told other white people for enjoyment. And then they showed like 2023, let's say, and then the Indian tribe, and like it was like, hey, like we're still here and we're still like thriving and we're still celebrating our culture and our heritage. So I don't think it was like a bad ending. I understand that you really want the white people to be punished for this doing, but like it wasn't. And to be honest, if they were shown as punished, if I was like native Indian, I would kind of be offended because like no, like we didn't get justice, so why are you like making this up? Because
No.
let's say if they made when they made the Malcolm X movie, they just changed the ending and he didn't get shot, or they just changed the ending and all the people who killed him like just walked away free, or I don't, what happened to those people?
Oh, which movie? Which movie are you talking about?
What happened to people who shot Malcolm X?
Uh, some of them got arrested and they got sent to jail, but then they got proven innocent. So now we kind of don't know who killed Malcolm X.
Okay, so if they showed those people rotting in the prison for the rest of our life, for the rest of their lives, when in reality they got out of jail, I feel like you would feel bad, or maybe that's just my opinion.
Yeah, but in the actual movie, they changed the ending too. Like you said, the story is fictitious, and so he had the opportunity to show justice for them because they took some parts of the movie and made it fictitious. It's a true event where they made a fictitious story in it, and in it, he had the ability to create some justice at the end, which he did. Because in the story, they say the guys went to jail, right?
Yeah.
Sometime. So if that's the case, then show it as well if you're going to write that fictitious stuff in too. So it's just like what you're saying.
Oh, okay. Agreed.
You don't have to agree. We can agree to disagree. We agree to
That's what
disagree.
I said. Agree to disagree.
Okay, all right. I didn't hear that part. So we'll agree to disagree. But I wish they just had some showing. But I'm telling you, that's a consistency throughout Scorsese films. White men can't go to jail in a Scorsese movie. I swear to God. If anybody proves me wrong, you won't, because I'm not wrong here. I'm not
Okay.
wrong.
I mean, Goodfellas, I do remember it was like that. So, but I don't know about the other movies. So,
Right.
um, anyway, Craig Mack said, it's like a city in Connecticut. They have a mall, movie theater, and the casino in the casino. And he also said, "Acti, what about what blacks went through? I think, and are going through. We deserve reparations and hate crime bills too." Yeah, I agree with you, Craig Mack. I'm not saying like, I mean, let's be honest, white people owe a lot of people a lot of things. Like they should not be thriving because they got like bills to pay and reparations to make. So yeah, I absolutely agree with you.
Absolutely. There we go. There we go. That was a great comment. Great answer. Perfect answer. But anyway, who controls the media controls the mind. I think this movie, on one hand, I'm glad it showed a native story. I'm just conflicted about how people might receive it and also how the perception is of the movie because the story is told mostly through white eyes. Yes, it is a story centered around the natives, but the story centers around mostly Ernest, his relationship with his uncle, and their mischievous ways on trying to trick the Indians out of their money. I wish maybe more of the story was told from the native side, because the natives are shown as, sort of, you know, basically people who are troubled, adapting to this new way that the whites are bringing onto them. So some of them are like addicted to alcohol. Some of them are spending money like crazy. The white people are abusing them by making them pay crazy prices for cars and houses and regular items and stuff like that. So I just wish more of the story was told from their perspective. And I am sort of bothered that Molly, didn't speak up more for her people in a sense,
Yeah.
because she probably saw so much of how the white civilization had changed her people and made them a bit worse, maybe. You get what I'm saying? But she still is just like, well, I'm rich. I have a house. I got money. I just kind of don't care. It's sort of like bothering me, but maybe I'm reading too deep into it. What do you think?
I mean, she did go to freaking Washington D.C. to talk to the president or the president of FBI. Well, while she was like dying of diabetes, basically. So I feel like yes, she did make an effort, but not like speaking up by it, but just being present, I would say. Because, like you said, she wasn't like really speaking up about it.
Mm,
And she did also try to like hire an investigator and things like that, but that went south quickly. So yeah,
yeah.
that
Yeah.
went south. That's such an offensive like saying. I just realized that now I said it.
Why is going south offensive? I don't find that offensive.
Because
Why?
why would you, it's like calling south trouble.
Well, yeah, that is true. That is true. There are people that want to flip the maps just because people associate the word north with like highness or goodness, right? So
Mhm.
people say, oh, if you invert the map, the rest of the world is now on top. In fact, Australia would be like on top of the world, right? So I don't know. It's just an interesting idea. But anyway, let's jump into some comments. Could you read some comments?
Avery said, I disagree. I don't think we should get reparations. We deserve it, but they will just increase inflation and interest rates. So let's force them to make real change.
I think real change starts with stopping the economic problems Black Americans have, and a lot of our economic problems are tied to the years of being locked out of the financial system. And yes, that goes all the way back to slavery. At the same time that our families were working to create the United States, build the ports, the railroads, fight in the wars, basically be the agricultural base of our beginning nation. The whites and others were getting land given to them for free, getting all sorts of grants, buying homes, passing down these homes and this land and this territory to their children. So we're behind the eight ball. So we deserve reparations. I think you agree with that part. I don't care. I'll be honest with you. I don't care about the U.S.'s inflation. I don't care about how much money they have printed, because honestly, they don't care about inflation when they send billions to Ukraine, when they send billions of weapons to other parts of the world, when we give Israel a blank check and say, Israel, you can get as much money as you want. Egypt, you can get as much money as you want. Pakistan, you can get as much money as you want. We as Black Americans deserve at least to catch up on the economic gap that has been created. I find it hard that the Afghanis, the Pakistanis, and the other groups deserve money from the U.S. government, but we don't. Or even if we do deserve it, we shouldn't get it for the betterment of the U.S. We shouldn't get it for the betterment of the U.S. All right. So
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about that acting?
Avery said they don't. LOL. That's a fact. I agree.
Right. So, but what do you
Uh,
think about that reparations? Uh,
I feel like I don't know too much about the economics of America, but I feel like inflation is gonna come either you get reparations or not. And at the same time, like you said, there are so many things that America spend on, and the number one thing is like guns and stuff. So maybe just give that up and use that money for reparations, and I feel like it would be more than enough because I feel like that's a pretty huge sector in America.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm interested in what the comments say. Craig Mack said, I can't read. I don't know why my
Okay,
comments look
let me
crazy.
read. Greg Mack said, "Why do other blacks care about what other black people will do with their money?" And Avery said, "I just think Uncle Sam and the government will not give anything free without having their thumb up our asses somehow."
Man, they already got our thumb up our asses, man.
That's,
If you get a paycheck in the US and you look at your pay stub, you see how much is taken out from taxes. You're like, God damn. God damn, it's crazy.
yeah.
But go ahead.
A lot of people, okay, this is Greg Mack. A lot of people will get the hell out of America.
Mm, that might be another thing. A
I
lot
mean,
of
is that
people,
a bad thing?
it's not really a bad thing. No. Let's see how well America does without us.
Yeah. Hey, give me a second to get my charger because my phone.
Okay. All right, no problem. I wish I could read the comments, guys. I don't know what y'all are saying because my comment
You need
section.
to click on it, like
I
hold
do.
it.
No, if you come here, you'll see what it looks like for me. See, this looks
Mine is
crazy.
like that too, but
Really? Yours looks like this?
here.
Oh, if I click on the comments,
I mean,
okay.
mine is not like this, but
Okay.
it's kind of similar.
Oh, that's very strange. I disagree with the U.S. sending money and weapons. We should stay out of the way when it comes to wars and stuff, Avery Adams says. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. I do think there are times when the U.S. should intervene, right? Like, I would wish the U.S. would get involved and help some of these African nations get democracies. I wish the U.S. would get involved lightly in Haiti. Not a lot like how we did in the last century where we like took over Haiti and that sort of stuff, but like help Haiti get on its feet. You get what I'm saying? I wish the U.S. did something proactive with its guns and its military boats and its planes, all that sort of stuff. I wish we did more of that. But yeah, while we have these billions of dollars that the U.S. is giving, they should give reparations. And listen, they're going to say inflation. They're going to say, oh, the government won't do it without doing this. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares what happened? Who cares? Give us our money. Give us our check. We shouldn't care about that. You get what I'm saying?
Yep. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I wish I could read these comments, guys. It's so strange. My comment section is crazy right now. I can't read anything.
I mean, it's still the same. It's Avery. You read Avery's, so I don't have
Mhm.
anything new,
Okay.
at least.
All right. When it comes to wars and stuff. All right. Ozzy said something, right? I can't read what Ozzy wrote.
I don't see it. Maybe it will
Um,
come to me later. I don't see it right now.
okay.
Or just try to click on it, I guess. I
Uh,
don't know.
Man, the comment section looks really weird, guys. Everything is like convoluted and weird. I don't know what's happening with YouTube. YouTube's trying to shut us down. Who knows?
Okay, so back to the movie. What were we talking about?
uh, I forgot exactly. I forgot. Oh, I wish the movie was told more from like the native perspective.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I read an interesting comment about that from a Osage member, and she was like saying that she when she heard the movie was coming out, she was like very anxious because it was going to be told from a white rich man's perspective, as in Scorsese. So yeah, like she was kind of like she said that when she saw the movie, she was like happy that it was told in a good way, and she was actually like, she appreciated the way they told the story, but she also said that if it was told from, you know the perspective of an Osage filmmaker, it would have been different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like she also said like the story was actually told from the perspective of Molly's tragedy.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So Greg Mack says Simon is nice again. When other races get reparations, no one say anything. As soon as blacks are entitled to something, haters and pocket watchers start commenting. Why should why they shouldn't only our race? I guess, man. Listen, I think everybody's a little bit. I think Listen, don't get on. Listen, we have different people in our community that have different views on reparations, right? And I think all of them are valid. If somebody wants to tell me, okay, you as a black person, you're not going to pay taxes for like the next 20 years, I could get on with that. If they're going to say, oh, we get free education, I could get on with that. If they can say, okay, I don't know, your credit score will always be 800, I could get on with that too. Like people have different views of what reparation looks like. But I honestly think we should get money, 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 like cash payments, cash checks, and not just one time. Like we should make this generational. You get what I'm saying? Like for all of our generations that were taken from slavery, they should calculate that. You get what I'm saying?
I think they should give you guys, if it's really going to be something practical and really help the community, I think they should give you free healthcare and free education to all black people, because I feel like the black Americans are the most like undervalued in those systems. You get
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. Like
Especially like, I don't know, like from the stuff that you say, like, in the healthcare system, some doctors like don't diagnose black people, especially black women, properly and things like that. And yeah, and
yeah,
they face like the most deaths by birth and things like that. So
yeah.
be
No,
very
they,
beneficial.
I think reparations given to our people without sort of like systemic change is pointless. Because if they give us all $1 million and then we still have the police shooting us in the back, or us going to the doctor and not getting diagnosed, or our kids going to school and they get punished twice as hard as the other white kids in class, then what are we really doing? Like reparations has to come along with a set of other changes that need to happen in society and honestly around the world to make sure that the wrongs of the past are made right as much as they can, and also that moving on in the future we won't have the same problems.
I
Honestly,
mean, I think this is a really good point, because we can make a connection to the movie with this point, because those Indians were rich as hell, and look what happened to them. So you can never really trust, I guess, like the white man, at least in America, to help you with that sort of thing. What if, like, of course, not something similar because we're not at that age anymore, but what if something with the same motive is done? Or what if, like, blacks are even more ostracized because they're like, oh, like now they have money, so it might even create more hate for that.
right?
So
you know
I
there
agree with you.
Yeah, all the fat people in the movie had the best lines and they were the best actors because there was a fat Indian chief, and one of his quotes was, "When we had this money, we knew something bad was coming with it because we
Mm,
knew that this was the white man's money. It's not our money, even if we have it in our hands. It's not our money. It's the white man's money." And that's the same thing too. Like if we get reparations, that's a positive thing, right? Because we need money to live in this world and be successful, but also at the same time, we have a lot of other things that need to change. And Killers of the Flower Moon, the movie, showed how the white supremacists think. They think long term. They think long term. They try
yeah,
to use genetic extermination of our people, literally raping our women or marrying into the family, learning the tribe's culture and language and history, and then slowly, 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 at the Indian wedding, it's nothing but Karens and Billies.
yeah,
And then on top of that, actual murder. So we get reparations, and then who knows? The white supremacists gonna start shooting black men in the head, and now they got a Keisha fetish. You get what I'm saying? Like that could happen if we get reparations without change. So I don't know.
yeah.
Talk to me.
Greg Mack said, "I'm not eligible for it. UK owes me. I'm Jamaican born in US. Black Americans deserve it. Come on, Simon. You are from that water.
Okay, so I don't know if Craig Mack is trying to say I don't deserve reparations. I'm half Black American, half Belizean, and I
No,
absolutely. What's up? What do you say?
he's saying he's like Jamaican and he is already getting it from the UK.
Mm,
So, but he's saying that he believes Black Americans deserve it, and he's saying
mm.
like, "Come on, you should." be for reparations,
Of
basically.
course, I'm for reparations. I'm absolutely 1,000% for cash payments to Black Americans. And if somebody wants to come to me and say, Simon, you don't deserve reparations, you dirty, nasty Caribbean tether, Simon, you you plantain eating, sandal wearing, selling beads on the beach, son of a bitch, Simon, you don't deserve reparations. I'll say, okay, I'll at least take half. Because half of my ancestors built the fucking United States of America. I'll take half, and then I'll get the other half from the King of England. I'll talk to Charles. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that wasn't what he was saying, but that was funny the way you roasted yourself.
I did roast myself. I love roasting myself. I wish I had an Albanian here to try and roast me right now because I would get up on his ass right now.
I think you blocked the whole nation.
I did block the entire nation of Albania. Oh God! Hey, we got
Oh,
any more
okay.
comments?
He said he's not getting reparations from the UK yet. I guess he said the UK owes him.
Yeah.
And then he said, "You deserve it, Simon." So yeah.
Thank you, thank you, and I hope all the people of the Caribbean get it, from Bahamas to Aruba, Jamaica, Cayman Islands. Uh, what's the other one? Turks and Caicos, Belize, Guyana. All they enslaved and captured so many of our people that there are entire nations, entire nations. How do you human traffic so hard you get a passport? How do you do that? How do you human traffic so many kids that centuries later they got passports saying that their mama got kidnapped? That's crazy. That's crazy. But
Well,
anyway, go
it
ahead.
wasn't called human trafficking back then.
Mm, that's true. That's true. Was that a comment or was that something you said?
No, I said it. It's not
Okay,
a
I didn't
comment.
realize. I thought you were reading the comment.
No, no.
But anyway, yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon, very interesting movie. What's your overall score for it?
I think my overall score. I mean, now that we talked about it, I feel like it became better. But I think I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
8.5. Walking out of the theater, I gave it like a 9.5, but the more I start to think about it, I'll drop it down a bit because there's things I don't like about it, about the overall message of the movie, right? And
Mhm.
also, like, that ending scene turned me off, and the dancing scene at the wedding turned me off, and also the parts that I couldn't follow so much because I'm stupid. I couldn't follow certain parts of the plot, so I don't know. I'll give
So
it an
what is your
8.5.
score?
8.5.
8.5 too?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just like, I thought it was good. And yes, there were some parts of the acting that I didn't like from Brandon Fraser. but, and I was expecting that, like, you know, blowing, just like seeming scene from Molly. But yeah, it was good. Like, it's just like, Scorsese is not really my style.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Greg, I'm trying to read it. Okay. Greg Mack said, "Why do they worry about what blacks do with their money?"
I think Greg is a bit triggered by that, and I don't think anybody said that. I don't know. I can't see the comments now. I don't know if Avery said niggas gonna buy rims and Jordans with the reparations money. I don't know if Avery said that, but a lot of people think, okay, if we give black people reparations, we gonna have 100 record labels open tomorrow. There gonna be 20 mixtapes out in the streets on the very same day. Everybody's gonna quit their jobs at KFC and go try to fucking just buy the biggest Escalade they could. There's a lot of like stereotypes when it comes to black people,
Yeah.
but the only listen, the only people who think that black people are bad with money are people that don't know black people. Because if you really know black people, we can make $20 seem like 2,000. We can make $50 into 50K if you really know how to flip it, work it, and make it jug. You feel me?
Yeah.
So like being fly, fresh, being fly, fresh, sexy, making a little out of nothing is what we've done our entire lives. So people that think we're just gonna trick off the reparations money don't know any real niggas. Honestly, there's no other way to say that. I'm tripping.
Yeah. And it's not that people care, like, worry about what Black Americans are going to do with their money. It's just that they hate giving up the power, at least the economical power and things like that.
Right,
And that's why they are so like concerned with it, you know.
right. Actually, one person said one time that she sleeps with a lot of black dudes, and that's her form of reparations. What do you think about that?
About me?
No, no,
Oh,
somebody. No, no, this white girl once said, she once said this like on a video. She said, I sleep with a lot of black dudes. That's me giving reparations.
no. The fuck? So you're just like pity fucking everybody? That's no. No. You do that to like I don't know, a guy who just broke up with his girlfriend or something. No,
Wow.
not because they're black. Stop.
All right, what's the comment saying?
I don't have any new ones.
Really? I thought I saw one pop up. I
No,
can't see anything, man.
I don't have
Tether,
it.
Greg Mack says Tether's only worried about what black people buy. I'm an anchor baby. I get reparations. I'm never go back to the U.S. Greg Mack turned up on that Tariq Nasheed. I know Greg Mack listens to a lot of Tariq Nasheed by what he's saying, man. And I like Tariq too. I don't want anybody to clip this out. This is the first time I'm mentioning Tariq's
Yeah.
name in general on my channel. And yeah, I salute everything Tariq's doing. I got nothing negative against him. I don't want no smoke. For anybody who wants to know, I'm just a dirty tether. I'm a dirty tether. Don't listen to
Okay, Avery said something. No reparations, Greg.
me. Avery just wants to trigger him. He just wants to trigger him. Yo, I gotta do this. I'm setting up this Twitter right after this live stream. We're gonna start doing these call-in shows. I swear to God. Swear to God. Actor, you gotta help me do these live stream setups.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. All right. No, let me ask you this other thing about reparations. This is a true story. There's this group out of Oakland of white people. This is a true thing. A group of white people in California, they get together and randomly they give out money to random black people and they try to help them around the house. And they also like take out their trash and just like give them a hug. Like as soon as they see a black person, they say, "Come here, come here, come here," and they give them hugs and stuff like that. Is that a form of reparations?
Oh God. I mean, it depends on how much money they're giving them. Uh, I guess like it's better than being racist, but I don't know. It still feels a bit wrong because once again, like the girl who was doing, who was being with black people, it feels a bit like pitiful,
Yeah.
but like hey, like, if it's helping people and if they're like actually going into houses and cleaning their houses and stuff, that's good.
Oh man, I don't want to see any beef between Craig Mack and Avery. I love you guys, man. I hope y'all are just trolling each other back and forth in the comments. Y'all, just,
No, they have
everybody.
fans. Greg Mack said, "I don't need I'm rich Avery."
Oh man, y'all guys are funny. Y'all are hilarious. I don't know what's happening in these comments.
Okay, I'm trying to. Okay, Avery said, "LOL, Rich, that's unfortunate." What's going on?
Oh no, oh no, man. All love and peace, man. All love and peace here.
I'm scared Avery's gonna block Greg Mack because he has power.
He does have the power, and I can't override it. But as long as everybody's respectful, that wouldn't be cool, man.
No, I think they're just joking around.
Yeah, yeah. It's all they're just joking around.
Yeah, Avery said, "No beef, all love."
Oh man. But all right, so like, damn, I don't know how we got to reparations, though. That is an interesting topic for today's live stream.
Yeah, and I
But
think it's kind of related to the movie a little bit, maybe.
well, let me ask you: do you think the Indians, the Osage, deserve reparations, even though they're rich?
Mm. But it's not about being rich though, because there are rich Black Americans in America, but I think even them should get reparations.
Right.
Even like Will Smith should get reparations and things
That would
like
be
that.
hilarious.
It's not really about the finances. Like, yes, that's a very big, big plus. but it's about recognition and trying to like make up for your mistakes. So I think it has more meaning than just finances. So
Right.
yeah, I think Osage should also get reparations as
Yeah, I
well.
agree. I agree. They lost their land, they lost their culture, their their ways to the white man and stuff. But that's hey, let's say Will Smith gets a reparations check, or like I don't know Dave Chappelle, or damn, who else will get
Or
one?
at
Jersey.
least like there should be like a limit, let's say. No, 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 not I'm not saying that. If let's say like after let's say I don't know about money, but if you're below average, they ask you, "Do you want the reparations or not?" And I feel like some famous people will choose not to have it. Or they can say, "Do you want to have reparations yourself or do you want to donate it to a black cause, for example?"
Mm,
So they could choose to donate it and
mm,
something like that. It's not that they won't have it, but I feel like, for example, Dave Chappelle would do that, or I don't know.
damn. I don't know, man. I just wonder, even if they did take it, let's say Chappelle gets it and he gives it to a white family, should we like cancel Chappelle? You know what I mean?
Why would he give it to a white family?
Just because he's a troll, he might be like, I know these poor whites, they need the money more than me. Here you go, white trash Billy.
Wow. I mean, if he's trolling, no, don't cancel him.
Oh man. I,
But I don't think black people will do that though. And they shouldn't. Like, come on, please don't do it.
I think the only reason they don't give us reparations is because they still want us to do inventive stuff, like invent the next hip hop and bring us the next Beyonce. Like they still want black people at the bottom, so we keep on doing amazing shit. That's one of the theories I
Mm,
have. Because if we're rich, we never have to pick up the microphone. We never got to tell jokes. We never got to play
no,
basketball. How's
this
the NBA? How's the NFL going to work if every mom is balling?
No, I don't think that would be true because people are creative or hardworking even if they are rich. Some
Mm,
people actually do it because they love doing those things, you know? Not all people are, just like motivated by money and fame.
mm.
Okay, let me read the comments. Avery said, no, 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 I'm not trigger happy. LOL. Okay, I'm trying to read it. He also said, "I thought that stimulus Uncle Trump gave us was a reparation. Unfortunately, I didn't get one."
That's funny. That's
What
funny.
did Trump do?
So during COVID-19, he gave everybody in the U.S. I think like $1,200. For some reason, I didn't get my check though. I never got a check from the U.S. government. I
Well,
never
Avery
got.
didn't either.
Yeah, I don't know why. I didn't get any money. That's crazy. And
Wait,
I,
did
and I
he give white people reparations only?
no, he gave he gave everybody in the U.S. money, and also Donald Trump, because he's so like selfish. He made sure to sign the check, so everybody who got a COVID check saw that it came from Donald Trump or something. Because he's like,
Wow.
and he still lost the election.
Well,
What a
why didn't you get it though?
I don't know. I sent them my bank information. I sent them everything. I don't know, man. Maybe it's because I have student loans. I don't know. Maybe they
Mm.
ate that thing up. That's fucked up. If they didn't give me my COVID money because I had student loans, that's sick. What if I had COVID and I'm studying?
Does that does that go to your student loans
I think
debts
so.
though?
I think so. But then the interest of it is so crazy. It probably ate it, and then the next month I still even owed more money. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Wow. Let's see. Greg Mack said, I've been out of the country since 2009. I've been getting my pension. I got no stimulus money.
Okay. All right. All right. Cool. 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 So he's just living off land, living off land like a grown man. That's the way it should be. But yeah, man, I'm really thinking that, man. If we get our reparations, how different would America be?
Okay,
I,
let me ask you though.
what's
What
up?
would you do with your reparations money?
I would literally save it and sit on it, and because I don't have any big investment that I want to make now. My
Mm,
first thing in my mind would be to like buy stock or bonds or something like that. But even that, I would like save it. I would not touch it. I would put it in like some bank account where it could accrue interest slowly and grow.
mhm.
I would And then later, when I find out, okay, this is the right investment to make, and people are not charging me Osagi prices. I don't want people charging me like Indian prices. Like it's a $10 million house and it's 2 bedroom, 1 bath. You know
You
what I'm saying?
wouldn't buy a house or something like that
I would make sure. The thing is, if I got my reparations check, I know that the target is on my back, right? Because
because
now,
of me.
no, not because of you, because like the whites know, oh, the niggas got money now. Let's get it back.
Yeah, but you're not even the US, so you don't like you can buy a house outside of the US.
No, trust me. As soon as they give every African American money, the whole world gonna know. Cause now everybody gonna be real friendly now. Everybody
Wow,
gonna be saying, "My brother." They gonna say "brother" with more emphasis now. I'm gonna go to
that's
Turkey
funny.
and be even more loved. It's not gonna be bro, bro. It's gonna be king. this man,
Wakanda.
what kind of bro, bro, brother, brother? I have beautiful house to sell you, brother. It's like it's gonna be all that. Good price for you, $2 million. But bitch, this is an apartment.
Okay. Well, how much do you think like reparations should be if they were to pay like money?
Damn. Ooh. Off top, I would say $1 million easy each. Split amongst 40 million African Americans, $1 million easy for every single black man, woman, and child.
Mm.
And that's actually 40 million. There's 40 million African Americans or so, but like we have 3 million of those who are like Africans and Caribbeans, right? Kick those guys out. And
Wow.
and yeah,
You're
no, they don't.
Caribbean.
I am. I am. This is what I would say. If you are a full-blooded African American who can trace their ancestors back to a census from like 1870 or like, right after emancipation when they started counting black people, and both of your parents can trace their ancestors back to that census, then you get reparations. Period.
Mm.
Or
So you
or
wouldn't get one though.
I would get half of it. That's how I would do
Really?
it. I would get half of $1 million, so I get 500,000, and I would tell my father, "You should have picked a better system." But that's how I would do it. And so then, if that doesn't work, if you can't do that, if your grandfather identified on the census as black, both grandfathers identified as black in the year 1950, because this was before many Africans and Caribbeans started coming to the U.S. So that way we know, like, the vast majority of black people in the U.S. were like descendants of slaves. If
Mm.
your grandfathers on both sides identified as black and they were born at a certain time, you're a black American and you should get it. That's how I honestly feel.
Okay. Well, Greg Mack has a very good idea. He says, Simon, the UK owes you reparations.
Exactly. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna talk to Charles. Charles, give me my check. He's gonna say, "Who are you?"
I mean, you can get 500 from the States and then 500 from Britain,
Yeah.
and y'all good.
Talk to me. What else?
I don't know. I mean, I was just
What's-
curious about that, but I think that's a good amount of money.
Right.
I think I agree with you. You know?
But let me ask you this: like, we might, who knows what the future might hold? We might, move to America one day. I don't know what the answer is yet. It might happen. Who knows what the future might hold?
What is your desire to do that from out of 10?
Like a -5. But who knows what the future might hold? If the opportunity is right and the space is okay, that's not out of the possibility of things that I think we could do or should do. You get what
Mhm,
I'm saying?
mhm.
But well, I don't know. How do you react to that?
Uh, I mean, I don't have particularly a problem with America, obviously, other than gun violence and you know hate crimes, but which is a big part of our family because you are black. So if you go through, we all go through. So yeah, we're not doing that. And the second thing is everything is freaking paid. Like I don't want to pay for hospitals. I don't want to pay for my child's school like that. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, okay, let's go to Turkey and because everything is free if you're a citizen, but there are other countries in the world who do it, with a health insurance and all of that. So,
Yeah. No, the violence in the U.S. is very real, and I'm glad that you do realize that, because it's not a joke. Certain places you really got to walk with your head like this, and you know, living in a place where you can send your kids to school and they won't come back. That's very real. It's not a joke. And
yeah.
yeah, you brought up the healthcare system too. It is very expensive in the U.S. But if you have a good job and if you got money, then you can get whatever you want. I mean, we do have some of the best healthcare in the world, but it's only if you got a good job and money. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if you have a good job and good money, and then you get your healthcare free and the education free, it's even better,
Right. Right.
Other parts of the world.
Yeah. Absolutely. But damn. Another thing I don't like about the U.S. is like a lot of cities aren't walkable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're here in Budapest and we can basically get all around the city without a car. But like a lot of places, like I'm talking major cities too, like Miami, Houston, Austin, uh, Kansas City, fucking St. Louis. It's hard to get around without a car. Car is necessary in a lot of places. So yeah,
Avery said I paid 370 for healthcare a month.
$370.
Yeah.
Wow,
But
wow,
imagine like that for a whole family. Like, let's say it's us, and then we have a kid, so we have to pay it for like three people or possibly more. That's like a lot.
yeah. Yeah, and I mean there are other places where you get it for free, right? In Hungary, it is for free. In the UK, it is for free, right?
I mean, America has like a lot of pros, but also a lot of cons. And honestly, like, you know, seeing families in Mauritius specifically and Tanzania, and like, you know, Kenya, it was like, but I'm gonna specifically say Mauritius, like the family that we met. I liked their lifestyle. Like, of course, I'm not saying, oh, okay, let's all be yogis and, teach our children to meditate, start at age 4 and things like that. But they had so many, you know, physical and natural activities that they were doing. I really appreciated that. And yeah, I just really appreciated their lifestyle. So I don't know if there's a place you can do that in the States.
I mean Hawaii.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that could be,
Hawaii.
yeah.
Oh,
But
but Hawaii is a different world, and I've never been there, so I don't know. If you've been to Hawaii, let us know in the comments what it was like. Go ahead, tell us
is
that.
it expensive though?
Yeah, of course, it's like the most expensive state.
Yeah, that's
But we have cheaper ones though, because we have Puerto Rico, we have Guam, we have the Virgin Islands, which is like our version of Jamaica. There's like a Jamaica in America. It's called the U.S. Virgin Islands,
yeah.
and it's like a tropical paradise place. A lot of people go there for vacation. They speak English there, and it's an island right off the coast of Florida, not very far away.
I mean, preferably, I would love to live in a place where there's a sea that you can swim because that's what I grew up with. Uh,
Yeah.
Ozzy said, "What about other Anglo countries like Canada, UK, maybe even Australia?"
Yeah, I think for us, an Anglo country might be the best thing, you
Yeah.
know, because learning new languages is definitely hard for me. Not hard for her, because my wife is super smart. Guys, she's,
It would be hard for me too because I want to be a psychologist, and it would be hard for me to find a job.
yeah.
Not impossible, but harder.
Right. But with the internet, a lot of things in the world have become flat, so you could work online.
Yeah,
And I,
but I don't want to only be a psychologist online. Like, I do actually, talk to people face to face.
well, let me ask you this now, because I never asked you this. Do you want to actually have like your own practice, like your own office where you go every day or people come in and sit down on the couch and tell you about their mother? Like, is that what you actually want?
Right now, no, but at some point in my career, yes, that might be like I would want to have like that sort. space where I'm with, like, let's say 4 or 5 other psychologists are working, like, in my clinic, something like that. So yeah, like I would want something like that. Or because like one of my university professors was a big influence in my, education and also like own life too. I might want to start like an organization as well, like an NGO,
Right.
probably.
Well, I support you in those dreams, and wherever you want to do it, we can figure it out and do that.
Yeah.
Uh, for me, my dream would be to. Uh, well, I have a lot of dreams. I don't even know where to start. There's so many things I want to do, but I
And
definitely, huh?
I know, me too. And how creative you can get with your
Yeah.
ideas.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to continue writing, like I'm doing this writing for this website right now, Culturalist Theory. And I want to eventually start writing my own books. I want to go back to school. I want to be a successful YouTuber. I want to open my own English school. There's like 5 things I want to accomplish. And I know I should probably focus on them, but I try to give a lot of energy into everything I do because I don't know.
Yeah, no, I understand. So we need reparations.
Wow, actually, we're not that broke. We don't need to wait
I'm
for reparations. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay.
I'm joking. Avery said, "I want a distribution center in Europe."
A distribution center of what? When you
Yeah,
just say distribution, my
what's
mind,
that? Distribution as in like weed.
that's what that sounds like. I don't know why. Are we bad people for automatically thinking weed?
Europe. So Avery distributing yayo. LOL.
Oh wow, that's hilarious. A
I
distribution.
really thought like weed or drugs or guns. Like what is happening?
Greg Mack says Hawaii is super expensive. Connecticut is expensive too.
Mm.
What are nice cities in Connecticut? Because I've heard nice things about Bridgeport, but that's all I know. I don't know anything else about Connecticut. Connecticut seems kind of boring and dry. Like it's always autumn there. Like the trees are always brown, and it's like got a golden color to it, and it's like super super waspy. I don't know.
See, I can't do that. I mean, if it's like that all year round, I can't do that.
Fall all year round is bad weather. Fall is like the best weather. You get light jackets,
Yeah,
beanies,
but
boots.
baby, I'm from Turkey. We have 4 seasons.
Y'all got one long ass winter, and then it's super hot. That
That
would
was
stop
one
playing.
time. And
No.
no, there are transition periods. Yeah.
Man, stop playing. Turkey got them long winters that last 6 months.
That was your karma for some past. I don't know.
I don't know. You got any more comments?
Oh, okay, wait.
Mhm.
No, Ozzy just laughed at Craig Mack, the
Yeah.
laughing. But we're waiting Craig Mack's answer. No,
Yeah.
Avery or something. What do you want to distribute, Avery?
Wait. We were talking about America, right? And like, I forgot how we got there on America because I was gonna say something.
I don't know. You asked a question like you said there's still a chance that we might be back.
Yeah, like there's a chance like we possibly might move back to America, right, and set up there. It's very unlikely, but yeah, I forgot how I was gonna tie that into reparations somehow, but I forgot how. There was something I was gonna say.
Craig Mack, Craig, okay. Craig Mack said Green is near the New York line. We have 4 seasons in Connecticut.
Mm, mm, okay.
And Ozzy is asking you, you like living in America? I mean, in Miami, sorry. Did you like it?
Yeah, Miami was fun if you're in your early 20s and you're a single bachelor life, and it's a very beautiful city, especially like in the spring and the fall. That summer is really hot, but if you're living like a good life in Miami, it's wonderful. It's magical. It's like heaven on earth. Better than Dubai, better than any other big party city. You get what I'm saying? Great food too. Great food in Miami. It's not that it's expensive as people make it seem. Like if you go to the right spots in Miami, you can you can like eat good, live good, party good. You know, at least in the time I was there, like 2014 to like 17, 18. You get what I'm saying?
Would you
Uh,
like? Would that be an option to settle?
In
Or
Miami? Oh hell no! Oh fuck no!
if there wasn't gun violence?
This is the thing. Like I said, Miami is fun if you're in your early 20s, young, dumb, full of cum. The people in Miami are fucking stupid. They are the stupidest people on the planet. Nobody's, and I mean this stupid not as in like the people there don't have college degrees. Like Miami is one of the places in America where the fewest amount of people have college degrees. It's like
Mm,
10, 13% of people. Everybody there is working in like the service industry, on a cruise ship, at a hotel, at a restaurant. Yeah, you do have your professional class, the lawyers, doctors, engineers, educators, academics, but they live totally separate lives. They're tucked off in like Coral Gables or Myanmar or up there in Lauderdale and stuff like that. And so, yeah, basically everyone in Miami is like some entrepreneur, crypto bro, or like an OnlyFans model, or they're working at the hotel, you know, picking up condoms left on the sheets in the Hilton. You get what I'm saying?
okay. I mean, it's a tourist city, I guess. So a lot of jobs for that, I guess.
Honestly, in my opinion, the best city in America that I've ever visited is Boston, Massachusetts. I said it. Boston, Massachusetts is absolutely the best. It's the most European like city in America. They have walkable streets, great public transit, very diverse, very tolerant, great food, people from all over the world, great universities. You have Harvard there and other schools, uh, all four seasons, a lot of history. It's like Boston, the first time I went there, I fell in love with the city. You get what
Mm.
I'm saying? And
I
I
mean,
was there during winter.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
really know a lot about Boston, but I think they have like good universities there, right?
Yeah, Harvard is there, of course.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I knew. Okay. I said I think the most educated city is Seattle.
Yeah, no, Seattle is the one that per capita has the most people with college degrees. But I
Mm.
think Boston is up there too. But Miami is definitely at the bottom because everybody there is fresh off the boat. Facts. Facts.
I mean, I went to Seattle when I was there. It was a really nice city, and I also really like San Francisco too. Is that in Seattle?
Seattle is in Washington, San Francisco is in California.
Okay, okay, but they're not that far. I feel like because
Yeah.
I there anyway. Ozzy says Boston gets really cold in the winter though, and he also says yeah, all the best colleges are in the Northeast.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I forgot how I was going to tie this into reparations. I forgot. Because
Go to America. What's gonna happen with the reparations, Simon? Or are we
uh,
just gonna move if they get reparations?
uh, we're not going to move if we get reparations. In fact, that would probably give us even more reason to stay in Europe or somewhere else. Because I guarantee you, like, if they give us reparations, it's going to get very dark. The murder rate for black people will go through the roof.
Mm.
They're gonna start killing us, and on top of that, unfortunately, niggas gonna start killing niggas too. Unfortunately. Oh, I know why. I know why I asked you about America. I'm sorry.
Finally,
I asked you about America because if we go to America, you're gonna start meeting like other people from your community who are already there, right?
I
Like
try. I try to avoid Turkish people outside, but probably I will meet some.
I'm pretty sure you'll meet some Americanized Turk who can barely pronounce their own name and speaks broken Turkish. Why are you mad?
Not.
That's true. Like those people do exist. You'll find people in the
I know.
U.S. Yeah, but anyway, uh, those people tend to be the ones who like really hate the idea of reparations because they always say we came here with nothing on our backs and we are now successful. Why can't you do it? I don't owe you anything, nigga. I don't owe you nothing, nigga. Why do
Wow.
you think the
That's
immigrants? Why do you think immigrants are like so anti? reparations?
That's dumb. I mean, I get their frustration with it because it's like it's not something they did in the history, and they came like halfway when the country was like developed. So I get the frustration, but it's dumb to say that like, oh, we did it from nothing, and why can't you do it too? It's dumb because y'all like built, like you said, built America.
For free.
Yeah, for free. So yeah, like no. If you're scared of paying for reparations, then don't become a citizen. Like you're already benefiting from. Let's be honest. Like a lot of Turkish people who go to America end up becoming very like wealthy, at least compared to people in Turkey. And I know people who went there and became like freaking rich, insanely rich because they were painting houses in Florida or something.
Wow.
So yeah, and they come back and they always say Americans are so dumb. You can make money off of anything because they don't want to do anything themselves.
Wow.
Well, yeah, like you can't be talking about the country that you go to. I feel like that's disrespectful. And like I said, if you're going to a country, know the history and respect the history and accept it as it is. Like, want to get the citizenship, then you're taking on all the, all the things, the good and the bad.
Mm, very good point. So, with that said, if you go to America and you become a rich, successful Turkish person,
Yeah.
um, what are you going to do with the money? You asked me what I'm going to do with my reparations. What are you going to do with all your American dollars you're going to earn?
What do you mean? What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna spend it on us and our family.
Okay. All
If I
right.
need to pay reparations, yeah, I'll pay for it. I give you reparations every night, baby.
Wow. See, we just spoke about this. That's not reparations.
I'm joking.
You making it clap is not reparation.
I'm joking. Let me read some of these comments though. Okay, Craig Mack said, I lived in Utica, New York, Spartansburg. I don't know how the states are pronounced. Sacramento?
Uh, I don't know what that is.
SC, no.
I don't know.
Okay. Clearwater, Florida, West Palm Beach, Kingston, NC. What is NC?
North Carolina. I just got the comments open on my computer, so I can
Okay.
hear.
And Akron, Ohio, Charlotte. I don't know. You can read it.
All right, I don't know what's happening. All right, actually, I'm appalled. They said you're appalled. Like,
It was a joke. I had to. Come on.
oh, that was hilarious. Uh, yeah, they're talking about living in Utica, Boston. Okay, yeah, it's nothing big. It's nothing big. But yeah, man, I don't know what else really to add on. If anybody's got any comments before we wrap this up, because she's got to study, and I got to get back to work on writing. But this is a kind of all over the place live stream. We started talking about the movie.
Yeah.
Just one more thing about the movie. Like the Killers of the Flower Moon are about uh, people taking advantage of other people and stealing from them in like roundabout ways. Uh, is this a tactic that we can use against, the people who are white supremacists in the world? Like, should we start thinking like this? Like, okay, we're gonna marry into their families and do that. Is this a good way to actually win?
Uh, I don't know if it's a good way to win. I would say, obviously, just depending on my morals. But the thing is, mm, white supremacists are greedy and they're super, super hateful within their heart. So they are like absolutely appalled by any idea of accepting other than themselves and whiteness. But it wasn't like that, for example, in the movie with the Indians. Indians kind of like embraced the white culture. They, maybe some part of it was brainwashing, but they trusted the white men. So there was trust, and that's what made them so like a target. But white supremacists is not like that. They don't trust anybody. They hate on everybody.
Mm, that
You
is
know
a
who's
good point. Like I was wondering the entire time. Like there's a scene in the movie where the Indians sit down and say, "We want to investigate these murders of who's killing our Indians. So let's go call the white guys to look into this." Like, bro, like
yeah,
we kind of know who's doing it. Why don't y'all take control? That's the thing. I think the Indians definitely got taken advantage of in the movie, but they should have taken more control of what was happening around them. You know?
like they trusted the guy so much because the guy spoke their language. The guy prayed their prayer, you know, and had family, like just family, like his cousin married to the Indian ladies and things like that. So they trusted him so much that they didn't even realize he was the only white guy who knew all of their worries and plans and thoughts.
Yeah.
And they didn't even think that he could be like an enemy.
Yeah, it's sort of like a trick, like they speak their language and fit in and blend in, and next thing you know, they're just taking everything. And people get too impressed when somebody different. She's so perfect. She speaks. Moved to and start speaking Turkish. I don't know if it's cutting up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it did. I didn't hear it. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Possible because I'm running the stream right here. Maybe I should pause it, but then I can still hear the chat. I don't know.
I mean, do the comments or are you looking at them?
Yeah. Yo, Avery just dropped the wildest comment. Oh my God. He said, honestly, I think I can be a milkman. I wouldn't mind getting married 5 times and drop glizzies and breed with them just to take their resources, just like the movie. Oh my God.
Look, like I wouldn't be mad at him if this is what like he was planning, and obviously it's a joke, I know, but that's the thing. Like they wouldn't let him marry the girl, the white girl, and things like that. You know?
I this is the thing. We're not dealing like I don't know how to say this. Bill Gates's daughter, right, was dating like this black dude. Did you hear about that?
Wait, sorry, what? Bill Gates' daughter?
Was dating a black guy for a
Okay.
long time. And
Mm-hmm.
every time you saw this brother in pictures, he was smiling from ear to ear like this. It was crazy. Sorry, that was a really gross face. That was a disgusting face. But
Wow.
they recently broke up, and everybody in the community is like, he dropped the bag. He fumbled the ball. But you know, Bill Gates isn't a open white supremacist, right? But just his wealth and his power allows him to practice white supremacy. And if his daughter continues to, live on and she inherits his wealth and then she marries another white man, white supremacy will continue to reign because the wealth that Bill Gates had will continue to be passed on to white people and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like you might I don't know, like people that we think of are who are white supremacists who are against interracial marriage or mixed kids and stuff like that. Those people, I doubt, have that sort of money and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking
Okay.
like big, like let's get Jeff Bezos' son. Let's get one of the Trump kids. You know what I mean? That's what I'm
I
thinking.
I mean, like maybe I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that will work.
Yeah. You looking at the comments?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Avery Adams said in the comment. Also, there's a saying here in the states: black men don't get the good whites. White men would marry. We just get the peasant whites. That's pretty. That's pretty gross. But it's actually a little bit true. A little bit true. But I think this is a crazy thing, man. I don't know. Are you bored by this conversation?
No.
You can drop out anytime.
No, let's go on for like, 15, 20 minutes more. We
Yeah.
can.
I think honestly, I don't think that the strategy of breeding out the white people or like trying to marry into their families to take their wealth will actually work. You get what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, it's just too utopic for whoever is dreaming.
but then again, is it dreaming because the whites did it and you know it worked for them? They literally did that. The whites showed up and said, "All right, we're gonna smash every woman moving. We're gonna make sure we make as many of these kids white as possible." That's what they did in Australia. That's what they did in the Dominican Republic. That's what they did in Puerto Rico. That's what they did in all of Latin America. That's what they did in the movie. I mean, if white people did it and it worked for them, then shouldn't we try to do that too? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know, like maybe maybe it was like the times conditions because, like children that's were more and crowds and societies were smaller, and now in today's world we have more people and more places to conquer in terms of like if we're talking about race wars in that sense, more people to conquer, more families to conquer or whatever. So I feel like it's gonna be like unrealistic, at least today, what?
Yeah,
But I don't, maybe like want you want to like just
no.
want to switch over to Bianca Trump or
No,
something.
no. I got my Bianca Trump, Ivanka Trump. I got my Melania here. I got my Amina Erdogan.
Please do not compare me.
I'm joking. I'm joking. But yeah, man. Bill Gates. All right. Avery Adams. Uh-oh. Oh no, I did it. Why do I keep on doing this?
What did you delete him again?
No, I think so.
Oh
What
God,
the fuck?
Simon.
You Bill. Wait. Did I delete it? Hold on. Wait. Message deleted by. No. Why did I do that? I don't know why I keep doing
Oh
that.
God.
Damn. I don't know why I keep on blocking Avery on accident. I clicked the screen here and then he disappeared. No. My bad, Avery. I did it again, Avery. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I keep blocking my boy.
Can you undo it?
Huh? I try. There is no undo something.
No, but can you like go to your blocked ones and unblock him?
Yeah, I will after the stream, but that was crazy. My bad.
Wait, do it now?
Do you see the comments? View deleted message. I don't know, man. This is a documentary topic, to be honest. I don't know. My bad, guys. I didn't mean to delete the guy. I'm sorry. I'll fix it after. Uh, anyway, free my bro Avery. Oh man, I don't know how to. Let me fix that. Let me fix that. But yeah. Where were we? Well, this was kind of.
Just uh, unblock him.
I will. I will.
We're
I
waiting.
will. I didn't
Like
mean
the
to.
he's like the sous chef to you.
Yeah, man. That was crazy. I don't know how to undo it, man. He's in a whole list. There's like 600 people in this list. uh,
Oh, he's not back? Okay.
he's back?
Craig Mack marry in the US to lose. Sorry, you don't want to marry in the US too much to lose for the men.
Mm, mm. I mean, I don't think we're getting a divorce unless
I
you
feel
get
like
different plans.
Black American men hate American and why?
Black American men hate Black American women?
No, Black American men hate American women in general.
Oh, because of all the talk online about, women are this and modern women are crazy.
Yeah, but like even here, Craig Mack is saying that it's too much trouble to marry a U.S. woman or something.
Mm. I think there's, like I said, a lot of problems. We spoke about this before in the U.S. Like we're always fighting for resources, and now women don't need men like that. And there's just a lot of just disconnects between men and women in the U.S. I don't think there's hate. I just think there's not understanding.
Okay.
Avery, if you're unblocked, leave a comment or something. Cause I unblocked
Avery, well, block party.
you. Is he out?
I don't know.
Is he out? No. I tried to unblock him, man.
I can't see it, so
Let me go to his channel and try to do it.
look at you.
I messed up. Shit. I don't know how to do it.
Okay, well, shall we end this live stream?
We shall. I'm sorry. Was this boring?
No, it's just I'm sad that you blocked Avery.
I did. I don't know why that keeps happening. It was a mistake. But shout out to everybody for watching this live stream. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next Sunday with another topic. Thank you, AKDI, so much for coming in. We appreciate you. We love you.
Thank you for having
All
me.
right. See you next time, guys. Peace.